Alright, pre-algebra, we are moving on to surface area of cylinders. And just like volume, these are nicer than surface area of prisms because cylinders always have a circular base again, so they're always the same formula, which makes it nice to compute rather than changing from triangle or square or rectangle, all that stuff. So, surface area of cylinders, let's get started. So, the surface area, we need to find three parts, okay? Think of a soup can. There's a top circle, there's a bottom circle, and then where the label goes is this blue part right here, okay? And so, if you remember from a chapter ago, I think, we talked about circumference, and circumference was 2 pi r. Okay, so 2 times pi times radius. That told me the distance around this circle here. Okay, so when I unfold this, think about peeling a label off of a soup can. If you unfold it, this length right here, once it's unfolded, is the circumference of the circle. So the length of this rectangle is 2 pi r. And so if I want to find the area of a rectangle, I take the base times the height. So this is my base, and then my height, however tall the soup label is, or the can is. Okay? And then I have these two circles. Well, we did circles last chapter also. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay? So, and I have two of them, correct? One here that are the same. So, down here in my formula sheet, what you need to write down for a lateral area, this is the soup label. Okay, if that needs to be written down to help you, to go ahead. But to find the area of the soup label or the lateral area is 2 pi r times h. That'll find the lateral area for you. Okay, right there, write that down. 2 pi r times h, that finds you this area. And now I have these two circles. Well, the area of a circle is pi r squared. So since I have two of them, it's 2 times pi r squared. Alright, so the formula you want for total surface area is this right here. This is what you want to write down. Okay, and this is why this formula is nice, because it's always the same. Once you know your radius and you know your height, you're just plugging in the numbers of the formula, and it's calculator work. Alright, so I'm going to do 2 times pi times r times h, plus 2 times pi times r, or r squared. Okay, so not too difficult, because it's always going to be the same formula for cylinders, which is really nice. Alright, let's give it a try. So they want me to find the lateral area and the surface area of each cylinder. Okay, so part A, make sure I'm writing down this example. Lateral area is the label part. And I just unfolded it on the screen before. If you forgot, right here, to find the area of the lateral area, you do 2 pi r times h. So I do 2 pi r times h. What's my radius in this cylinder? Well, radius equals 6. What is my height? Well, height is 12. So to find my lateral area, I'm going to do 2 times pi times radius times height. Put dots in here for times. You just multiply all that together. Okay? And you get an answer of 452.4. And its area, or label, is squared. Now to find the total surface area, okay, is the lateral area, this answer, plus 2 pi r squared. So let's just find 2 pi r squared. 2 times pi times my radius squared. We're going to enter that in the calculator. And we're going to add on the lateral area, which is over here. Okay, so if you do that and you add them together, you should get an answer of 678.6. And we can enter all this at one time if they just want the surface area. Okay, like I did on the page before, I'm going to do 2 times pi times 6 times 12 plus 2 times pi times 6 times 6. Alright. Down here, they give me the diameter is 20 inches. If the diameter is 20, what's my radius? Radius is 10. What's my height? Well, it tells me height is 5.6. So I don't even need the picture to do these. Alright. So let me do this all at once here. So if I want to find the surface area, 2 times pi times radius, which is 10 times 5.6 plus 2 times pi times radius squared. So there's my whole formula right there. You can just enter all that in a calculator all at one time. Okay? Don't use the phone calculator because it'll kind of screw up. But if you use regular calculator, it'll work. You enter it all in, you get a total surface area of that. If they wanted you to also find the lateral area, you would just want this part right here. The beginning part is your lateral area. 2 times pi times 10 times 5.6, which gives you an answer of 351.9 square inches. Alright, and here's a guided practice. You want to try it. Again, the radius is 7, the height is 12. You're just using that formula. Okay, so again, this is the formula you want to focus on right here the whole time. If they just want lateral area, you're going to have to use that. Alright, one other question that seems a trick, and this always pops up on your standardized tests, even when you get to juniors on the ACT, this will pop up. They're going to compare the surface area of two different figures, and they want to know if, is it twice the size, is it 3 times the size, 4 times the size, whatever it is. Okay, so let's read the story here. I have 2 candles, both one have the same radius of 1.5, but one of them is 4 inches tall and the other is 8 inches tall. Is the surface area of the larger twice the smaller? So I'm just going to find the surface area of both of these and compare their answers. Alright, so surface area of candle A. Radius is 1.5, the height is 4. So let's find that surface area. 2 times pi times radius times height plus 2 times pi times radius squared. I enter all that in a calculator and it gives me an answer of 16.5 pi. And just for clarification, if that bothers you leaving like that, if I do 16.5 times 3.14, it's actually 51.81. Okay, you'll see why they left it like this in a little bit. So 51.81. And I just round it off. Over here now I do the same thing, but instead of 4, I'm going to use 8. So if I take this and use 8, I get an answer of 28.5 pi. Alright, so now the question is this twice? Is it not? Well, let's turn this into a decimal so you can understand what that means. Okay, so I do 28.5 times 3.14, and I get 89.49. So what would you think? Are they double each other? Is 89.49 double 51? No. Okay, it is not twice the surface area. Alright, so that's how we do those problems. Just want to compare the answers and kind of explain what happens. But we're just using this formula right here over and over again today. Alright, that's all I have. Have a wonderful day.